Chapter 8. This is it. I'm going to save Earth. Kaci glanced down at the flashing lights of the control board in front of her and then out the window at her last view of the airfield. Her squadron of 10, known as Trideck Squad, surrounded her. Probably every one of them feels like I do. Anticipation, fear, and an indescribable feeling of pride. Beyond their small group, identical ships amassed in battalions stretching out in all directions on the black tar airfield. We're as ready as we're going to be. The scout ships were launched. Initial intelligence says one massive alien craft just entered Earth's airspace. It's now or never.
Soldiers,
Catalina's softly accented voice came across their squadron's comms, lighting her view screen in a soft blue light.
my friends, I know you're nervous, but we got this. Stay in star formation. Attack as one. That's our job. That's all we have left to do.
And fight.
Athena added, her voice laced with sarcasm and anger.
And die.
Clarissa's cracking words hinted at tears. Come on, Trideck Squad. We need to prove to everyone else that we aren't as useless as they think. Kaci's anger rose as she remembered some of the disdainful looks from the military personnel who had trained them. She clenched her free hand. And save Earth. Remember, that's why we're here, to protect the people we love.
That's right.
Catalina intoned, passion filling each word.
You ladies remember when those damn terrorists attacked during the Winter War? Our brothers and sisters fought to keep us safe. Now it's our turn. For Earth.
For Earth, they all echoed. That's right, Darlene, my brave sister. You sacrificed enough back then. It's my turn now.
Amen.
Zoe whispered, followed by a chorus of amens by the rest of the squad. The light around her view screen changed to gold as the head commander of the Earth Fleet spoke, overriding their squadron communication. This is Head Commander Quartz. Greetings to you all. In moments, 10,000 women from around the world will lift off and join me in taking down our enemy. We are all that stands between Earth and annihilation of the entire human species. Until hours ago, we didn't know what we would face today, but we knew it would be the aliens that wanted our planet for their own. Now we know. There is one ship, a monster of a ship, out there waiting for us, speeding ever closer through our galaxy toward Earth. It's time. Time for us to be heroes. Ready yourselves for countdown. The straps that pinned Kaci's hand to the silver oval squeezed her tighter. To her surprise, the feeling was no longer disturbing, but reassuring in a strange way. She took a deep breath, and the oval seemed to warm beneath her touch, as if it was ready and waiting to obey her commands. The countdown to liftoff started, blinking on her screen. 10, 9, 8. A surreal feeling overtook her for a moment. I'm really doing this. 1. Hastily, she sent the command to the ship. It lifted off, silent as always, hovering for just a moment. Around her, other ships rose, then a few went berserk. Not again. 2 zigzagged toward the horizon, then abruptly smashed into each other not far from the base. Their smoking, fiery masses tumbled to the ground, then disappeared from her view. Perhaps a dozen ships took off in various directions, quickly fading from view. Chickens? I should have expected it, but somehow I guess I thought all the suicidal pilots had already crashed their ships, and the ones who planned to abandon the fleet had already taken off. Her view screen lighted blue. Catalina's reassuring voice came softly. No one from our squad left. Ignore them. Focus on the next step. She's right. Kaci took a deep breath and willed the shiver that traced down her spine to fade, then pictured their flight path. Instantly, the speed pushed her back against her seat and she shot into the atmosphere. The ship shook around her, and the temperature shifted subtly, growing colder. Goosebumps raced along her arms, but she was too anxious to focus on anything but staying in star formation with her squad. We've done this time and time again. But now, we're actually going to enter space. There's no second chance if we screw up. Her pulse filled her ears as she rose higher than she ever had before. She left behind a sea of clouds and kept going. And then suddenly, she exited the blue haze of the ionosphere. Instantly, the drag on the ship seemed to disappear and the flight became smooth. She commanded the ship to pause for a moment, as they had been ordered to do while waiting for the other squadrons to take position around their own. The stars stood out like a panorama against the sky. She rotated the ship back to look at the earth. The vision tore the breath from her chest. She'd seen pictures, watched movies, but to actually be there, looking down at her planet? It was incredible. This is what we're fighting for. A few moments later, Catalina's voice came on over the comm.
All fighters in Tridex Squad, check in please.
Their code names came in rapid succession. Silent fire, she said when it was her turn. All right, ladies, stay in formation. Fire on my command. Let's show these aliens whose planet this is. Yes, ma'am, came her squad's voices in unison. She held her breath, her stomach turning. Be brave, for Darlene.
Tridex Squad.
The lead commander's voice seemed to come from around her.
Attack!
Their 10 ships moved as one, traveling at the speed of thought. She sensed, more than saw, the other squadrons following close behind. Kaci had expected her last minutes to be calm and slow, but instead they seemed to be speeding by, nearly as fast as her ship was flying. Her hand felt sweaty, secured tightly to the silver oval in the center of her blinking console. There's no going back now. The stars around her were nothing more than streaks of light. The feeling of surreality came over her again, as if she was outside her body, looking down at a woman in a blue flight suit, at a woman who wasn't a fighter, but who was fighting, a woman who didn't want to die, but had willingly sacrificed her life to be free from a cruel virus. Me, that's me. And all of this is real. Focus, she ordered herself. Her ship shuddered around her. I'm going too fast. She tried to command the craft to slow, but if anything, it seemed to speed up. Around her, the other women's ships kept pace with her own. Her display blinked. She frowned down at a large red, blinking circle that covered half of the monitor for a moment, before realizing what it was. The alien ship. It's massive. Do we actually stand a chance at destroying something that big? It doesn't matter. We have to destroy it. Billions of lives are at stake. Narrowing her eyes, she promised herself that she would win. Her finger hovered over the space just above the oval, the trigger. On screen, she mentally commanded, and the alien mothership came into view before her. Dear God, it's big, nightmarish, and we're about to attack it, like a child striking a giant. Her heart started to race. Her breathing became harsh. No, she ordered herself through force of will. Calm down. You're going to die anyway. Just go down fighting. She took a deep breath as her gut churned. The mothership was made from a dark metal that hinted at an unspoken threat. But it wasn't shaped in a way that suggested speed, at least from what little she had learned in training. Instead, the middle was massive, and the top and bottom slowly tapered off out of her view. Red lights blinked in thousands of places around it, like tiny stars. Around the swollen center, perfectly spaced red ovals wrapped the width of the ship. What will it do when we start to attack?
Steady, ladies.
Catalina's strong voice came over the comm.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. We're going to save our friends, our family, all of Earth. We're going to be heroes.
No.
Clarissa's voice came in over the comm.
That ship is enormous. I can't do this.
Then a pause.
Why isn't the ship listening to me? I don't want to die.
Don't you dare abandon us now.
Athena shouted back. The dashboard lit up. We're in range. I don't know what my squad will do, but I came here to fight.
Fire when ready.
Catalina yelled. It's time. Kaci took a deep breath and pressed the trigger. Target locked. Firing now. Several others echoed her, but nothing happened. Why isn't it working? Her fingers continued to push the trigger again and again. She felt her hope fading a little more each time the ship failed to respond. This can't be happening! Panicked voices came over the comm in a rush.
What's happening? Why won't it obey?
She pressed the trigger again. Nothing. I'm doing the same thing I did in practice. Why won't it shoot? And suddenly the answer came to her. Of course, the aliens, Kaci whispered. They're controlling our ships now. Slowly the voices grew silent over her comm. I'm right. I can feel it. Icy fear clawed down Kaci's spine as she got pulled, along with the rest of the ships, inexorably toward the alien vessel. It loomed over them, dark and forbidding. Catalina's voice was deathly calm over their comm link.
It was a trap. Our mission failed.
Panicked questions flooded the airway.
What does this mean?
What do they want with us?
Why only women?
Oh my God.
They're going to enslave us.
But Kaci wasn't listening. The human race is doomed. Because of us. Images flashed through her mind of the death and carnage these vicious aliens would unleash on their world, of her sister, of Darlene's face the moment she realized the end was near, that I failed her. Her ship seemed to grow smaller, closing in around her. I did everything I was supposed to do. Failure is not an option. She hit the console. Obey me! Obey me, damn it! With her last ounce of willpower, she sent a mental command to the ship. It shook around her and then slammed to a stop with such power that her head smashed into the console. Colors swirled before her vision as she struggled to lift her head, to fight against the agonizing pain on her forehead. She managed to turn her head slightly, to lie on her cheek and stare out the view screen. She blinked, looking out at the mother ship as she continued toward it, but at a painfully slow pace, aimed straight for one of the red ovals lining the middle of the alien craft. I'm going to crash. Warm blood leaked beneath her cheek as her vision swam in and out. She waited for death, but it didn't come. The red shield she smashed into was like a thick gelatin. Her ship slid into it, leaving space behind, and suddenly she was trapped in the liquid, caught in the ship. Hysteria overwhelmed her. I can't get out. I'm going to suffocate. And if I don't die, I'm a prisoner. What do they want with us? Her sister's voice came into her mind, soft and confident. Don't worry, Kaci. I'm here. I'm always here. I'll save you. Then blackness swallowed her whole.